Suits, magic tricks, the bro code, laser tag. To the average viewer, these are just jokes and funny quirks of a high-functioning sociopath. But psychologically, they are symptoms. Barney Stinson is a textbook case of pathological avoidance. He uses 5 specific layers of defense to drown out his trauma. The bro code is his law. The suit is his armor. Magic is his misdirection. Challenge accepted is his adrenaline. And the playbook is his escape. Today, we're breaking down these layers to explain the psychology of the false self, and why we are all so terrified of the quiet, and what it actually takes to stop running. Barney grew up without a father. In developmental psychology, a father figure provides the law, the foundational rules for navigating reality. Without that guide, Barney was lost in a vacuum of chaos. So, he wrote his own laws. The bro code isn't a joke book. It is a surrogate father. He follows these rigid rules because he is terrified of ambiguity. If there is a rule for everything, how to dress, how to speak, how to break up, he never has to rely on his own messy emotions. Notice his reaction when a bro breaks a rule. It isn't just annoyance. It's a full-scale identity crisis. When the code is broken, Barney's world loses its structure. If the rules don't work, the trauma returns. We do the same. We cling to social norms or rigid productivity systems because they are safe. Structure is a shield against the anxiety of choice. If a system tells you how to live, you never have to face the question, who am I without the rules? We use protocols to avoid the responsibility of being our true selves. This is the comfort of the cage. As long as the bars are there, we don't have to worry about where to run. Barney's suit is a demonstration of unclothed cognition. This is the idea that the clothes we wear actually change our brain chemistry and self-perception. By putting on the suit, Barney isn't just dressing up. He's activating a persona. In psychoanalysis, this is the false self-defense. He trades his identity for a costume because a man in a $3,000 suit looks too successful to be broken. The suit is his psychological bulletproof vest. He explicitly sings that nothing suits me like a suit because suits are uniform and predictable. They don't leave you. They don't reject you. This is a masking defense. He wears the costume so nobody asks if he's okay. He uses the high price tag of his clothes to distract you from the low price he puts on his own self-worth. If he looks like $1 million, he doesn't have to feel like he's worth nothing. We all have a suit. It's the professional voice you use at work. It's the happy filter on your Instagram feed. We wear the uniform to signal I am fine, even when we are drowning. We use the mask to ensure nobody looks close enough to see the cracks. The suit tells the world I have it all together, which is the perfect lie to tell when you feel like you're falling apart. When the rules in the suit aren't enough, Barney turns to magic. Why is a corporate executive obsessed with card tricks? Because magic is the only art form based entirely on control. Psychologically, magic is about controlling where the audience looks. This is the power of misdirection. You force the observer to look at your right hand so they don't see what the left hand is doing. This is Barney's life strategy. If he can keep the gang laughing at a fireball, they won't notice the loneliness in his eyes. He hides the sad Barney in the sleeve of the awesome Barney. He isn't trying to entertain his friends. He's trying to distract them. Control over the trick is a substitute for the lack of control he felt when his father left. We use social magic daily. We use humor to deflect deep questions and sarcasm to kill vulnerability. We crack jokes during serious conversations to steer people away from our insecurities. We use the flash of our success to hide the wound of our failures. We're all magicians, hiding our true selves because we are afraid the truth is too painful to be seen. We create a spectacle because we are terrified that the reality of our lives isn't enough to keep people interested. Why does Barney accept every ridiculous challenge, from the murder list to the perfect week? It's because he suffers from achievement-based self-esteem. For Barney, value is not intrinsic. It is tied to his latest win. If he can do the impossible, he feels worthy of existing for another day. It's a temporary dopamine spike that masks a permanent sense of inadequacy. This is an external validation loop. He doesn't do these things for fun. He does them because without a win, he feels invisible. He has been running on the treadmill of awesome so long that he's forgotten how to just be. If he stops achieving, the silence returns. And in the silence, He's just a guy who isn't legendary. That realization is more painful than any physical challenge. This is the heart of hustle culture. We chase the next promotion or follower count because we're afraid that if we stop achieving, we'll realize we don't actually like who we are. We mistake our output for our worth. We are so busy being successful that we forget to be human. We treat our lives like a scoreboard, forgetting that when the game ends, the score doesn't matter as much as the people you played with. We use the challenge accepted mentality to avoid the most difficult challenge of all, sitting with ourselves and realizing that we are enough, even when we aren't winning. Stop and think for a second. We've all been there. You're at a party, laughing and hitting the legendary beats, but inside, you feel completely disconnected. You're performing happiness because being honest feels like a cliff drop. You're afraid that if you stop the act, people wouldn't know what to do with the real you. Does your awesome persona ever feel like a cage? Do you feel like if you stop talking, people would realize you're just as lost as they are? This is the universal fear of being seen and found wanting. Let's talk about that in the comments. Because the next level is where the performance finally fails. The playbook is the final stage. The scuba diver is a masterpiece of pathological avoidance. He spends weeks on a fake identity in elaborate scenarios because the project, not the sex, is the point. As long as he has a goal, he doesn't have to think. Busyness is the ultimate distraction. If you are constantly moving, the silence can't catch you. Barney uses scripts to avoid intimacy. Intimacy requires you to be known. A script allows you to be an actor. He has used the playbook to outrun the person he has been since he was a child. The play ensures that even if he gets rejected, it's the character that got rejected, not the man. We use productivity as a shield in the same way. We fill our calendars to avoid the realization that we don't know who we are when the workday ends. We aren't being productive. We are being protective. We use to-do lists to hide from to-be lists. We tell ourselves we are building a future, but we are often just building a wall. The playbook is Barney's wall, and every page is a brick laid to keep the world at arm's length. The most important scene in the series is the longest second. When Robin shakes her head no, the world freezes. This is the terror of silence. Barney spent 9 years being the loudest person in the room because he was afraid that if he stopped talking, he would realize he had nothing to say. He was afraid that if the noise stopped, he would have to admit that he wasn't awesome. He was just hurt. Silence is a mirror. We hate it because we don't like who we see looking back. In the quiet, you can't perform. In the quiet, you're just a person with your history, flaws, and pain. Barney's struggle is the modern struggle. How to be okay with yourself when the show stops. If you need noise to fall asleep, you are running from the same thing Barney was. You are avoiding the truth that exists in the silence. The truth is often quiet, and that's why we spend so much energy trying to drown it out. Why did a daughter save him when 9 years of friendship and marriage couldn't? This is the daughter paradox. Friendship and romantic love are social contracts. They often require you to be fun or awesome to maintain them. But a baby requires you to be present. A baby doesn't care about catchphrases. A baby doesn't care if you're a legend. For the first time, Barney Stinson didn't have to perform to earn love. He just had to be there. This is unconditional love. It is the only thing strong enough to make the false self unnecessary. He didn't lose his awesomeness. He outgrew the need for it. He realized that being dad was more legendary than being the barnacle. He finally realized that the silence wasn't a threat. It was a destination. Stop running. Stop the magic tricks. Stop using busyness to outrun your own heart. The silence isn't your enemy. It's the only place where the real you actually lives. And once you find that person, you'll realize you never needed the suit to be enough. Thanks for watching. If this analysis made you think about your own mask, let me know in the comments. I'll see you in the quiet.